Welcome to Daily 5 for Tuesday, February 27th, 2024. I've talked a number of times about the fact that my wife and I have made a real effort to not play video games as much as we used to play more of board games or do things that are outside of a screen, a non-digital type of entertainment. But that's not to say we don't play video games at all. We still like to dip into it, and generally we like to play co-op games. The one exception being that my wife really loves the modern Mortal Kombat games, which I find really amusing because she doesn't like gore and she doesn't like competitive games when we play them, and yet Mortal Kombat has this strange exception for her that she really enjoys playing that against me, even though, we're tearing each other's arms off and at times performing fatalities. She just has this soft spot for Mortal Kombat for some reason. But in general, outside of that one particular case, we usually play games where we're working together, whether it's something like Super Mega Baseball 4 where we're on the same team, or the Guacamelee games, or the Shredder's Revenge, Ninja Turtle, I don't think reboot, I guess sequel would be the right way to say it. Games like that, or Streets of Rage, the River City Girls franchise we really enjoy. And so we were looking around for something because we've played a lot of the games that are out already. And I remembered that there was a game from, at least on the PlayStation side, 4 years ago called Sackboy A Big Adventure, which is the latest entry in the Little Big Planet series. And I played Little Big Planet 1 and 2, always liked those games, but I kind of got tired of the format when 3 came around, so I did not play Little Big Planet 3. And I wasn't sure what to make of Sackboy. I knew it was more platform-oriented, but I wasn't sure if it was something my wife would like. But I happened to see that it was free to download and play on the PlayStation Plus store. So I figured, okay, well, if there's no cost to it, let's try it and see if we like it. If we don't, we just give up on it, and nothing really lost outside of some download time and erasing it off a hard drive. And we found that we really have enjoyed this game. We found it to be very similar to something like Rayman Origins, I think it's called. I think that's the one that we really liked. That was the last one that's been out. Or something like a Mario Brothers game, like the Mario Brothers Deluxe games, which we also really like. It is largely a platforming game with some combat elements, but definitely combat light. This is not going to be a game where you're going to have to learn specific combos and really worry about any type of Dark Souls-like combat. This is more of, okay, there's an enemy, you have to jump up in the air and slam him on the head. Again, very similar to something like Mario, and there's some specific cases where you have, they give you these gloves that shoot bolts of energy. That's only used on maybe a handful of levels. But honestly, it is mostly a platforming game where you are in this very, very handcrafted world. It has a beautiful aesthetic, as Little Big Planet always has, where everything looks like it's made of yarn or cardboard. There's a lot of household objects, and your character is supposed to be very small in relation to the world. And you basically work together. You can play it solo. In fact, I think that the game is entirely playable solo. There are some boards that are made for 2 people, but I thought I saw something pop up that said even those could be accomplished by yourself, I think. But it feels like it is really made for at least 2 players, if not more, because I think it has a 4-player max. I could be wrong. It might be more than that, but I think it's 4. And you go across this very, very delightful little adorable world where everything, again, is handcrafted, or you're, jumping off of paint cans and you're just a little, kind of almost like a Lego size or slightly bigger figure. And you're fighting, there's a story to it. The story is fine. It's really kind of not the point. The point is to look around and enjoy the environments and the way that they do interpretations of different music that you'll probably know for, there's Madonna songs. And I think, let's see, I'm trying to remember, Aha's in there. There's a number of pop culture or popular artists that you will recognize the variations they're doing the songs on. And, the characters have different costumes. You collect all these parts. There are no microtransactions. You buy things with the in-game currency, which is very, very generously handed out. You often find costume items, 5, 6, 7 different things in a level as you go along. There are secrets to uncover. There are achievements and challenges and trials to be done, so there's replayability to it. And it really is just top to bottom an absolutely delightful game that anybody can play. It is perfectly suitable for adults, children, a mix, whatever. And you can just have a really good time and enjoy a game that has... Again, if you've played Little Big Planet, you know the personality of it. And if you never have, which my wife never had, she really, really loves it. She's just having a great time. And the difficulty is just enough that, you don't just breeze through it, but it also doesn't become frustrating, because my wife can get very upset when games are unfairly hard, and this one has not been. We've had to rerun a couple of boards, but not very many. We've just had a great time. So again, it is called Sackboy A Big Adventure. It's available on the PC, PS4, and PS5 at this point. I probably will at some point go to Xbox, I guess. But if you get the chance and you're at all interested, play it because it's just a wonderful game. Later.